to a party?
Camping.
Dressed for it.
Thanks for that.
I'm waiting for my time.
This weekend is all about saying farewell to my youth and hello to the rest of my life.
And little do I know.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
It's wonderful to have you here again, Lara. How have you been?
Thank you so much for having me again. I've been very good, thank you. How have you been?
Yeah, doing well. Just keeping the content flowing on the fan carpet, and just keeping as busy as possible in these uncertain times. So yeah, it's because I've been working from home since 2009. It's not been that part of it hasn't been like much of an adaptation for me because I've been doing it for so long. It's just the other stuff, not being able to see anybody, which is what the hardest thing is at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like when all of this is over, I'm going to have to learn again how to be social and socialize, because I feel like I've now kept to my little bubble, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to gently go back out there and start to socialize slowly.
Yeah. You're abroad at the minute, aren't you?
Yeah, I took the last flight from Los Angeles back to Geneva because I wanted to be confined with family. So I've been here since mid-March. I was in total denial. I didn't want to leave the US. And I was like, it's not going to come here. It's fine. Europe is ahead, but after it's going to be fine. Yeah, no.
Unfortunately. All right, so I just finished watching By Light of the Desert Night. Incredible film, an incredible rendition from you. There's so many layers to your character. Is that something that you strive for as an actress?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is so exciting as an actress to find a character that has such an immense arc to her, to be able to, experience different journeys as the character is trying to find its journey towards its end goal. That's like the cherry on top of the cake. So yeah, definitely.
Now you're surrounded by an incredible cast. I mean, the two actresses in there. You feel like in the car. You feel like you've been friends for like years. How was that? How was that like? How was that to get that camaraderie? How did that come about?
Well, it was really important because we all met at our callbacks together, and I guess we all each really wanted the role, so we kind of spoke beforehand and we were like, okay, what's your name? What do you like to do for fun? Okay, great. Let's really bond and just try to show that we have been, we do have this bond that links us together. And then when we did each get the role and it's all together, it was very, very adamant for us to sort of build those relationships, because those three girls are supposed to be best friends since childhood. We wanted to make sure that we each really gave time to get to know one another. And we did this questionnaire, which asks you a lot of very deep and personal questions to learn about one another. And I think that definitely bonded us a lot more. And even while we were on sets, we were having a lot of girls' night and rehearsing, trying to find different ways the way that friends are, we like poke at each other a little bit. So we were trying to find each other's buttons, and then we were trying to find what made us tick sometimes. But it was all fun and games. And I'm happy that that's what came out of it, that you could really see in the car that we did have a great bond. Because I remember filming in the car, and a lot of scenes, a lot of times when they weren't filming, we were just singing in the car. We were blasting the radio and they're like, you guys should be filming this. We were all singing and we were all joking around, and it was great even when the cameras were off.
Awesome. All right. And with it primarily taking place in the desert, now the scenery is just incredible. How is it to film out there?
Oh, it's absolutely breathtaking. Eagle Rock and Valley of Fire, it's weird because there's this eeriness to it, because it's so in the middle of nowhere, but it's huge. And this orangey red fire look to it makes it look a bit dangerous. But it was, I mean, it was breathtaking to say that that was our office for, you know, the better part of 2 weeks or whatnot. It's always such a joy to be working on location. So we were very lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah, I suppose like because that could be created in on a green screen and in the computer, but there's a certain thing that you would lose if that was the case and filming on a soundstage, because you can actually reach out and touch the rocks and things like that. So yeah.
And the wind, there was a lot of wind, so we had a lot of, you know, for sound and whatnot, we had to figure out a lot of different maneuvers. But those are the little things that you do get. You know, if you're on a soundstage, you don't get any wind. You get an echoey sound. It's not, you know, like in the middle of the desert. It's windy, sandy, the sun bullseyeing on you at all times, and it's just you and nature.
Yeah, the location itself becoming like kind of a character in itself. Like did that have an impact on you when crafting the character of April and the journey that she goes on?
Yes and no. I think because April is absolutely not the kind of girl who would go camping like this, and that's the joy about the three girls, is they're so different. And it's three totally different individuals that are sort of like put in this situation, and they all have to, you know, strive together and like, but essentially April would not just go out in the middle of the desert and go camping. She doesn't get her hands dirty. She won't do anything that might attract, you know, the wrong kind of people or a bad reputation or anything like that. So it was definitely, I used that to sort of keep her distance. And that's why I thought that that was a nice arc, because in the beginning of the film, there is this, you know, certain fear that she has of doing something that seems a bit dangerous by going outside of her comfort zone. But then as, you know, the desert becomes more dangerous, but also connects within her and the other girls, they sort of find each other within that, with the landscape.
Absolutely, there's a dangerous beauty to the whole thing, being in the desert. Did you, when filming in the desert specifically, did you was it kind of like telling stories around a campfire and that sort of thing when the cameras weren't on?
Well, we didn't have an enormous amount of time because shooting days were so long. We started off at, you know, our call time for makeup was 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. And we would finish at 7 p.m. if we were not doing night shoots. And then we had another hour to drive outside of the Valley of Fire to get back into our house. So the only time that we managed to, you know, enjoy the scenery is when they were taking scenic shots and we weren't in them, or for lunch, or while they were setting up. So yeah, there's a scene or two where we're in front of a campfire, and that was the only time that we got to enjoy the campfire. We wish that it would have been longer, but yeah.
Yeah, but you got to finish the film. Obviously, so the film comes out on digital next week on the 25th. What are you hoping audiences are going to take away from the film when they see it?
I hope, it's difficult because to me it just has a lot of a personal connection to it, obviously, but also because I feel like it's so human in the sense that, you know, in life, not everything happens the way that we want it to. And sometimes when things happen, everybody reacts differently. Everybody has a different fight or flight reaction to something. And it's beautiful to see how different people react to certain situations. And I think that mean, I hope that it will keep people, on the edge of their seat at all times until the end, obviously, but also realize that as much as it is, as a science fiction, and it's not, based on a real event or a true story, those girls have feelings that are relatable to anybody in the world who go through the same or similar situations. And I think it's important to see the underlying message that is, just don't do anything stupid, and keep as real as you can be. And really the person that you become at the end is who you've been all along, but you just needed that extra push to see who you really were in that light. I hope that people see it that way. Yeah.
Absolutely, cool. So, like talking about April specifically, did you have to do any research, like before taking on the role, or were you just hooked straight away?
Well, there are some similarities to April and me, and that's the kind of method that I use a lot, because that's the one that I just connect with the most. Is I usually, when I read the script, I read the full script, not reading on the perspective of my character, because then that blinds my mind a little bit. But then once I get a general understanding of all of the characters and the storyline and the intention and the obstacles of each character in the story, then I dive into my character, and then I sort of do a character autobiography where I talk as a character as me, and I sort of find the different qualities and the relatable qualities that Lara and April have, and then I sort of meld them into two. So every experience that she had, that I was given as background research from Dave, then I used to some extent, what kind of situations did I have like that in my life, in my past. And so that gave me an extra sense of, okay, I can really connect and relate to that because of, this happened or whatnot. That was the amount of research that I did. But essentially, to begin with, her and I have a lot of similarities, which was funny because when I met Dave, I was like, do we know each other? I don't know, she's completely fictional. I was like, oh, well, you picked the right girl.
How was Dave to work with?
He's such a sweet man. He's the most kind-hearted man I've ever worked with. He was so adamant from the get-go to make sure that, it was a safe space for everybody and everyone felt supported, and everybody knew what was happening at all times. I got very close to him from day one. I sort of, when they told me that I had booked the role, and he came to LA, I sat down with him and I said, okay, so how do you usually work? Is it okay if I send you somewhat of my biography so you can see a little bit, and then we can work through that, and on set, if there's something that I'm not giving you, then we can work through exercises or things like that. And he was all go, yes, I love that. He always wanted to work with us. He always wanted to know, okay, what are you girls thinking? What do you think just happened before this, and what do you think would happen afterwards? And let's try something completely different, just for the heck of it. Why not? And it was just really fun all around. It was love and fun all the time. And I think it was really important for him because it was, it was a short shoot, but it was a lot of work that everybody brings their A games. But it was also, it had to be a family community because we were spending so much time together in the middle of nowhere. So that's exactly what he did. On the first night before we shot at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day, we all went to dinner together and sort of got to know each other. And there was banter going around the whole time during filming, and everybody just loved everybody, and everyone respected everybody. Everybody knew their lanes, and everybody did their work. It was really, really great.
Awesome. When filming, and obviously having the right director there, was there room enough, even though it was a short shoot, was there room enough to improvise the lines at all?
Yeah, so it's different with different writers and directors. Some writers are very adamant about you not paraphrasing. And others, it's just about what feels natural. So if it feels natural to say that instead of this or the, instead, those small things, as long as it doesn't change the intention of the line and the intention of the message, yeah, he was fine with it. He let us sometimes improvise and go on. Like if, we had a funny banter moment going on afterwards, he would keep the cameras rolling in case, there would be little cute moments that could be used for afterwards. But yeah, no, he was very open with all of that, considering the obviously being considerate of the time that we had.
Awesome. Working with Dave, is he someone that you'd like to collaborate with again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I mean, the whole thing. I would love to. Maybe there'll be a second one day. I don't know.
And within your own career, obviously you're producing as well as acting. And you've got Beast out at the moment on YouTube. Is the second part coming soon?
Coming soon, that I can't tell you, but all I can tell you is chapter 2 is going to be really, really, really exciting.
And so when you decide, like, I think I've asked you something similar before, but when you're taking on a project, how do you decide whether you're going to produce it, or whether you're just going to act in it, or do both at the same time?
Well, it depends where it comes from. If if I've been asked to read for a character and I book a job, then I know my lane. I know that I was hired for that as an actress, and I'm perfectly happy for that. And obviously, it differentiates when I myself write something, other friends write something that I feel I would love to be a part of, whether it has a speaking role for me or not. But it doesn't really change much as if the storyline interests me, if I think that there's potential for something a bit bigger, and for all of us to do this all together and to achieve it all together, because that's really ultimately that's the exciting part, is if you see something really cool and it's a bunch of really cool people who have made this, and you're like, okay, I want to be part of that team, and we should do something with that and bring it, like, do an extra.
Awesome. Are you still very much involved with the foundation that you're working with?
Which one? Angel Power?
Yeah, Angel Power. I couldn't remember the name.
So Danielle's mother has actually been all hands on deck with that since both Danny and I have been a bit busy. But I keep following what's been happening, and yeah, definitely. I think that when the house in Los Angeles will open, I'll definitely be more involved with that, because this one is in Nevada. So the mom who lives in Nevada she's taking care of it.
Right. All right. And what's next for you once we're actually able to start being on sets again? What are you looking forward to getting back to?
I'm itching to get back on the set. I love it so much. Honestly, everything has more or less been postponed until at least fall because of COVID. But there are a few exciting little things that I can't go into too much detail yet. But yeah, hoping to return.
So during this whole COVID thing that's going on at the moment, how do you keep yourself busy, and like, are you writing more? Do you find yourself writing more?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to make sure that I didn't overwhelm myself, because knowing myself, I would just start doing all of these things and then get too overwhelmed, and then I didn't know where to start or where to finish. So I actually started this 3-tier project which the first year is something that I can use for my career, something that I can learn from. So I've been taking Aaron Sorkin's masterclass for screenwriting, especially for me who likes to write and who would like to write, you know, in the future. And that's been super fascinating and very eye-opening. And then the second tier project is something you've always wanted to do, but haven't really had the time. It's a bit less serious, a bit more for me. So I started to learn a new language, Italian. Really good. I'll let you know in a couple of weeks.
All right, cool. Yeah, great. I've got quite a few Italian friends, so that'd be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You can test me on that.
Yeah.
And and the third one is just something for fun, just for me, and that's learning how to make plant-based recipes, which has been awesome. So yeah, I've been busy with that and just making sure that I keep myself in shape. So I keep doing my Pilates every morning and meditation twice a day, just so that I make sure that my body and my mind are stay connected and grounded during this time.
Great. By Light of the Desert Night is out next week. Where are people going to be able to see it?
So I think it'll be, so Amazon, Pluto, Virgin, Sky Store, Chili, and I'm missing one. But there's the poster.
I think you got them all. But I'll put it in the lower third anyway. All right. So it has been an absolute pleasure to speak to you again today. Look after yourself. Stay safe.
Thank you so much. It's been so nice to speak to you too. Stay safe too, and hopefully see you soon.
Yep. See you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
Ends forever, April. You said it.
April!
How strong are you?
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca. With the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels, it's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.